Hey guys, today we are going to do an unboxing and go over the history of these, the Arc the Lad Collection, Lunar Silver Star Story Complete, and a Lunar 2 Eternal Blue Complete. So let's take a look at them. If you guys want to get to the unboxings of these, just skip to this time code here if you don't care for the history of these. But if you do, then thank you for sticking around here. So what these are the three basically collector's editions that came out on the PlayStation 1 only in the States. These were never released in international countries outside of the US. These both were published, they weren't made by, but these were published by Working Designs. They were a American company that their main goal was to basically localize Japanese-made games that were like considered pretty niche in the States, at least. That they believed in like these titles where they are like very well made and they did deserve a lot more recognition, hence why that they wanted to bring them to like international releases outside of Japan and all that. And a thing that they did that you honestly don't see today very much is that they release the games here in these basically collector's edition type of like releases here. As far as I know, in the States, I don't think these games were ever released in just like a standard jewel case as like we're all familiar with for like PS1 games and all that. If you guys can correct, if you guys like saw these like that you're older than I am and you saw these like only in the silver jewel case, do let me know in the comments. So I'm really interested to see if they actually did that. But as far as I know, this was the only way that they released these in the States, at least in North America. Europe, Japan, they did not release these editions here like this, so therefore these are definitely sought after when it comes to like people overseas and all that, if they want to have like these unique things in their PS1 collection. But yeah, Working Designs, they went all out with all the stuff that they published. They always wanted to give you a little bit extra with all the stuff that they released. Hence why that they went all out with these three releases. I don't think they've gone like this far for any other stuff they published after these here. Unfortunately, they would close their doors in 2005 though, but they did, but the founder, though, I think his name was Victor, he did find another company like a year later in 2006 called Gaijin Works, I think it is. And they basically were most of the same thing as when they were Working Designs, that they just like published some niche Japanese-made games, but they don't go out, no, like they did with these releases here, unfortunately. That it's mainly like digital stuff that they publish nowadays, because understandable, because doing these still, like this stuff, when you see what's inside them, is like really expensive. But yeah, it's really cool that they did these, and finding these complete now is getting much harder to find nowadays. Thankfully, all three of these are complete, thankfully. And due to the fact that they're also like the outer boxes, they're made of cardboard, I did get these protective cases for them to like protect them, obviously, which I'll link these below in the description from the eBay seller that I got these from. They do have like a variety of different protective cases, not just for like these and for like standard copies of like game cases throughout all the console games history and all that, but they have it for like many other things you wouldn't expect them to have. So yeah, do check them out if you want to consider getting like protective cases for stuff that you probably didn't think you may have wanted. But yeah, with all that said, let's go ahead and get to the unboxings of these three here, and we'll go from there then. Alright, got the three protective cases off of these, so let's go ahead and take a look at all three. So the similar thing across all three of these, they do have like the same type of front panel here, which I'll show you what I mean. So for like all three of these, they had like this little like Velcro strap on like both of the sides here, and you could like open it up and it just shows you like what comes with these, a brief synopsis of the games themselves. So real quick, just show you what both of them are like here. Right, then to start out, we will go with Ark the Lad. Here's the front and the back. The games are basically like these grid-based RPG games. They're pretty fun, but the way they work is like your character, Ark, I think his name is, you can move from space to space, but like the enemies keep moving in real time though. I've only played, say, like around like 10 minutes of the games. I've really enjoyed them, so I do look forward to playing them eventually one of these days. And inside, that's what it would look like. So let's take a look at what's inside. So Ark the Lad did come with this little box right here, and on the spine it would say Omaki or Maka box, whatever you would, however you would pronounce that. And inside, first off, it's being held with a little magnetic strip right here. And I do like that this still has the original little cellophane or paper that the previous owners kept here. And then inside, you would have a memory card holder that has like a picture of the main character on there. And right here, now these are sealed. I'm going to keep them like that, so I do apologize, can't show you what these look like, but basically these are little standees of like the characters in the game. They would be on like these little like flat papers, and you would like push up on something, and that will like reveal what the little character portrait of them. I'll find a screenshot of these so you have an idea of like what they look like though. But yeah, for these, I'm keeping these sealed here. And then the rest of what's inside is these little analog nubs of like some of the characters in the game, as well as like the game's logo right there. I don't know if there was any other like analog nubs that they released for the PS1 like these back then. Do let me know if you guys like seen those back then, but honestly I don't see why would you want to use those, because that will definitely like destroy those over time if you kept using them. Alright, then here is the actual jewel case of the games. Hopefully that focuses well for you. And I do like that it may say that it comes with, 5 discs on the front there, but there's a lot more in there. So when you open it up, you do have like a little art piece on the side, which this does like pop out here, but there is nothing under that, of course. But here is Ark the Lad 1. There's Ark the Lad 2. And here is Ark Arena, this was called. I don't remember what type of game this is, if it's similar to the other 3 games, but yeah, that was like a kind of like a spin-off game they made for it, if I recall. And then on the other side is Ark the Lad 3 on 2 separate discs. And on the last side, we have one more disc to show. This last one is kind of annoying to get open. Alright, similar to the front, does have its own little art slip here on the end. And right here is the making of documentary of Ark the Lad series. A thing that's the same across all 3. They do have this type of disc with them. And no joke, it is like a legit documentary movie that you would put into your PlayStation and you'll be watching a documentary on there on the games. I don't know any other the publisher or like games that did that back then, but that is really cool that they did that. Video quality of it looks pretty horrendous nowadays, but hey, it's still pretty awesome that they did that though. Then here is the game's manual, and you may notice here, this is made out of like actual leather right here. It's like hardcover and everything. So they put a lot of work into this here. There's multiple different pages in here, as you can see. With these days, that manuals are like so rare to see that you only see it from like independent game releases, from like limited run, etc. like manuals, like no longer are they like instructions on the games, but they're also like art books to a certain extent. So yeah, that was Arc the Lad. So I'm gonna put this stuff away, then we'll move on to the next one. So quick jump cut here. Alright, next one is Lunar Silver Star Story Complete. This was like the very first one that they released for all of Working Design's published games on the PS1. And then here's the front of the spine. Front. What's nice is like they do make it so it'll look pretty aligned with, say, like the rest of your jewel case PS1 collection and all that. So these definitely do not look out of place at all. As for the game itself, it is a JRPG game that is fairly like similar to like Final Fantasy and the like, but the battle system is pretty unique overall. My only criticism of it is like it is a very linear game. There's barely any side content to do, but the story and characters, they're all like pretty well written, pretty good overall. All right, so first thing we'll show you is the manual here, and similar to like Arc the Lad, it is completely made out of leather here that is hardcover and everything. Then open it up, similar to the other one. Very quality paper that they put into these here. They even have like some pages that has like what you would then consider like an actual art book for these. That's the main character, Alex, right there. And then next... Now, one thing, and this was opened here, so I'll show you this to you guys. Right here is a cloth map of the game's overworld. This is like the one thing that you may find what's missing most of like when you find like listings of this online. And it is like very good quality like cloth here that they made for it too. So like I said, this is probably the one thing that you'll see is going to be missing out of like most listings out there for Lunar 1. So do keep an eye out for this if you do plan on picking this up here. All right, and then here is the jewel case. Sorry, hopefully it does focus for you guys pretty well for these spines here, and then opening up, and then now I do know for Lunar 1's case, which first off, these are the game discs. It's on 2 discs, and I do know for like some copies, the disc art is different between them. So you see like one variation between these here. Depending on like what listing you're looking at or whatever copy you find, potentially the game art for like the disc art for these games could be different, which I thought was pretty interesting that they did that. All right, then the next side is a soundtrack of the game. It doesn't have every single track in the game, but it does have like a decent amount of it. And then here, similar to like Arc the Lad, is the making of documentary that again you would play on your PS1. Alright, that is everything with Lunar 1, so we will jump over to Lunar 2 and take a look at that one real quick. Alright, last but definitely not least is Lunar 2 Eternal Blue Complete. This is the biggest one out of all the 3 here, mainly because that this does come with the most stuff compared to them. In Lunar 2, I've only just started playing the game, and it's very similar to the first one, but just they've made like better quality of life improvements to it, I noticed so far, so I do look forward to finishing up the game. And similar to like Lunar 1, they have like an engraving of the game's like logo on the front of the slip here, so hopefully you guys can see that pretty well there. Alright, first thing, just like the other ones, the manual. It's made out of leather and hardcover as well. But a unique thing with this one, is, as you can see, it has like a blue tint to the pages here on the side. The other ones don't have like a special type of coloring to them, so that was really interesting they did for this one. And just similar to the others, multi-page manual that also can like double as an art book as well. Then here is a slip that has the game soundtrack in it. Now, thing that the seller that I got this from, he included like a bonus here, but he put the CD in this little slip, and he also included as like a bonus. Just real quick, I'll show you the. There's the CD. But then he also included the demo of Lunar 2 here. Just as a little nice bonus that I was like really grateful that he did that. Alright, then moving on to the actual cover that the CDs were in, because I'm going to keep the CD in this slipcover because it's more protected that way. But the CD would fit in this slipcover here on like the side. So it's got like a little art piece on the side as well as like all the track lists there, obviously. And then here, similar to Ark the Lad, this is like a little box of like extras that they put in here called the Omeki box. Again, however you pronounce that term there. Then opening it up, you'll see, similar to the first game, it does have a map of the game's overworld. And this one, it's a different type of paper that they've put it on. It's like very durable paper they put it on, but yeah, as you can see, it is the overworld of the map itself, and on the other side is the game's box art right there. And also similar to Ark the Lad is these standees here that I mentioned earlier that has like little like portraits of the characters in the game, which again I'll try to find like screenshots of these so you guys know what these are, because this as well is sealed and I'm going to keep it that way. And then the best part in this collection, we have this little pouch, and inside is a little medallion that the main like female character of the game wears, and you can even sort of see it in like the game's box art. But this is like very heavy duty. It's like not a cheap metal at all that they've made this out of. So yeah, high quality that they made this here. That's insane that they went all out on this. Right, and that will do it for that box. And we'll move on to the jewel case with the game. Now, I don't know if Lunar 2 is the same as with Lunar 1, where like the game discs here have like different variations of art on them, but for this is what disc 1, disc 2 looks like. And here's disc 3 and the making of a documentary right there. So yeah, that will do it for the unboxing for all 3 games here. Hopefully you guys got a kick out of that. So we'll real quick jump cut and then we'll end things off. So that will do it for the unboxing. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing these here, and if you can find these for a good price, I highly recommend you get them. Though if you want them complete, though, you definitely will be paying like a pretty penny for them these days, given that these are, like I said, these are becoming more and more niche to find complete, given the amount of stuff that comes with them. But if you can find them and you're willing to pay like top dollar for them possibly, I highly recommend you get them, because these games, overall, these are really, really good. So yeah, that will do it for this video. I appreciate if you rate this video, share it with your friends, comment below what you thought of these here, and do subscribe for more content like this in the future. Till then, guys, see you next time.